Poets and Writers, I'm Kay Spivey. So my ring light has died. There's something wrong with the adapter. Hopefully this will be enough sunlight for the video to still look good. We'll see. What I wanted to do today is something I haven't done before. I wanted to create a brand new tag, and this tag is specifically for poets. People who write and like to share their poetry. I wanted to create a tag that would be something we could do multiple times a year, that wouldn't be like beholden to any one time of the year or any one time to actually do it. So this is the seasonal poetry tag. As it is now autumn, I will be doing this tag about autumn poetry, but come winter, come spring, come summer, we could do the tag again to celebrate poems specifically for those times of year. I will go through the questions and answer them, and then please feel free, I will tag people at the end of this video, but please feel free to also do the questions yourself. Question number 1, your favorite element particular to the season that you like to use as a metaphor. This is autumn, it's the season of sweaters and leaves and pumpkin spice lattes. My favorite thing to use as a metaphor is probably the smell of apples, like apple cider or apple pie, that like cinnamony sweet smell, or that sweet smell of apples like drying outside, the like almost rotted apple smell. I love all of that. But I also like to use the colors of the leaves. I use that in a lot of poetry. Question number 2, the most cliche or overused thing about this season is probably that it's sweater weather. It's probably that coziness, that like first briskness. I feel like you read about that a lot in poems. I love it. It is like the heart of the season is switching into sweaters and being nice and cozy indoors, cup of pumpkin spice latte, and watching the leaves fall. All of that super overdone, super cliche, and yet I absolutely love it. Number 3, what is a feeling you like to explore in poetry during this season? Growing up, it would be the time when like school is starting up again. So you're leaving the outdoors and coming indoors. There's a feeling of comfort with that, but there's also a feeling of loss. Feeling in between like comfort and loss is the one that I most often use the autumn season to kind of focus in on. Number 4, what is the number 1 like external sensory detail about the season that inspires you to write poetry? Like I mentioned before, that smell of apples, like going to an apple orchard and smelling the apples like rotting on the ground, or drinking the apple cider, like that smell of sweet apple is the number 1 thing where I'm like in autumn mode now, and all I can think about is childhood and poetry. And then question number 5, read a poem that you have written including or about the current season. And I'm going to read one that has been previously published by Alternating Current. I believe it's still up online, so I'll go ahead and I will link to it down below as well, so you can support them. This poem is called Hurting Autumn, so obviously very much in the theme. Hurting Autumn. I know these things don't need to be true. Fences of blackberry bushes and sticky apple pulp, sugar wafting from the window, the sunset sky, bare feet on sharp prairie grass, letting the dogs out for a run down the field before it gets too dark over foothills, the last day of the year for short sleeves, peach slivers drying overnight in the backyard, and rabbits scratching in their hutches, mom rolling cinnamon bread, and the neighbor dogs barking from across the way, the geese calling overhead on their way to the lake as we run, and the dirt warm under our feet where it's dry, where the sun and baseball cleats stirred it. The stars would be coming out and all have names that Mom would know. Cassiopeia on her throne, Orion fending off Taurus the bull. Cold air is the promise of school starting up again, and the wild pigtails down my back shaking out. I'd bring the dogs back in and pull the gate shut. Meet with long nights that could be anything. Thank you so much. So that was my tag, the seasonal poetry tag. I would like to tag everyone who was in the Poets panel with me back in April of this year. Shelley Flowers reads and writes, Camille Myrick, Tish from Little Wolf, and Emily Page Wilson, as well as anyone else who would like to do the poetry tag, any poets who are watching me who feel inspired to also talk about some elements of either this season or a different season that inspire your poetry. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I will speak to you again very soon. Good luck to you. Good luck to all of us. Bye.